Imagine having a sales team that works 24/7 for you, follows up with your leads in real time, and books meetings on your behalf while you're asleep. Well, in this video, we are going to build you an AI sales agent that, on autopilot, researches and enriches your incoming leads, calls them within a minute to find out more about their actual needs, qualifies them based on your criteria, and books meetings with them right into your calendar. If you implement the system, you will create an incredible user experience for your prospects, increase your conversion rate for booked appointments, and take off all the heavy lifting from you and your sales team. So let me show you a quick demo. All right, so imagine a lead just landed on your website. He clicked the book a call or work with us button and is now being redirected to a simple form. So let's just fill in some dummy project, dummy data. What solution do you want to implement? Usually, prospects are not very detailed or accurate here. Let's say we also want to implement an AI sales agent. We work for Tesla, for example. And of course, I am Elon Musk. I'm going to fill in my details over here, so my email, so I can show you the follow-up email and also my phone number, so I can receive the call. And we're already on the last question, which time zone you're in. We try to book a meeting with the call, so we need to know the context they're in. Let's say they're in Los Angeles. Gonna hit submit. And yeah, we received the notification that we're gonna receive a call in a minute. So already we triggered the AI agent automation in the background. The agent is right now researching the lead, scraping their personal LinkedIn profile, company LinkedIn profile, just gathering more context, and then be able to reach out to us with a more personalized call script. So I'm going to receive a call in, I guess, less than a few seconds.
Is this Elon?
Hi, yeah.
Hi, Elon. I'm Adam, Fabio's AI assistant here at Sprite. We've just reviewed your form submission, and I'd like to learn a bit more about your project so Fabio can prepare as best as possible for your call. Do you have time for a quick 3-minute chat?
Yeah, sure.
Great. I saw you're associated with Tesla, a global leader in electric vehicles and clean energy solutions. You've mentioned that you're interested in an AI sales agent. Could you share more about the specific roles or tasks you envision this AI sales agent performing within your expansive operations?
Yeah, so as of right now, we are pretty slow following up with leads. So usually when someone shows interest, it takes us about a day or two, sometimes even longer, to follow up with them. And yeah, I'd like to enhance the user experience, make it super quick, maybe even as quick as you are, like following up within a minute with them. And yeah, for that, implementing a sales agent.
That sounds like a fantastic idea, Elon. Having an AI sales agent to promptly follow up with leads can definitely enhance the user experience and streamline your sales process. Is there anything else you're considering implementing alongside the AI sales agent?
No, I guess we're gonna explore that during the project.
Great. Understanding that the scope might evolve, do you have a budget in mind for this project?
Actually, not very experienced. Can you give me kind of an estimate for the project?
Sure, Elon. Our projects start at a minimum fee of $2,500. During the call with Fabio, he'll take a deeper look into your project and be able to quote you more accurate prices. How does that sound?
Yeah, that sounds like a fair starting point.
Perfect. I will pass this information to Fabio so you can discuss your project in more detail in a call. Would you be available for a 30-minute call with him tomorrow?
Yeah, like what time tomorrow?
Fabio has availability tomorrow at 11 a.m. your time. Does that work for you?
Yeah, that sounds perfect.
Great. I booked a meeting with Fabio for you at that time. You'll get a confirmation email shortly after this call. Before we wrap up, is there anything else Fabio should know before your discussion?
No, I think that's it for now. Excited for the call. Thank you.
Fantastic. Well, you're excited too. Thanks for your time today, Elon. Looking forward to continuing our discussion with Fabio tomorrow. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye. All right. So as you just saw, that was a pretty seamless user experience. We just provided a few details about us up front, and we received a pretty personalized call. So he was able to give us or ask us about some more context about the solutions that we're trying to implement. And yeah, we got qualified based on our project and even have now a booked meeting slot. Right, so as you see over here, we have received 2 emails, one from cal.com, which I use for the call booking, and another one, this one's from myself. Hi Elon, thanks for discussing the project with my assistant. Excited to learn more about your project, and you should already have received a meeting confirmation. All right, so let me give you a quick overview of the system we're going to build. This is an inbound sales agent, meaning we're working with the leads that in any kind of form have indicated they want to work with us. In our case, this is a basic form submission. So they're reaching out to us, providing some basic information about themselves, about the project. We're then going to take this information and enrich it. So research the lead, research their LinkedIn profile, the personal one, the company profile, and yeah, gather some more context about who the lead and their company is. We're then going to use that in a call. So a minute after they filled in the information, we're going to call them, or the agent is going to call them, find out more about their actual needs, asking some follow-up or some deeper questions, qualify them, and if they are qualified, we also arrange a meeting with them, booked into our personal calendar. So after the call, we're going to follow up them by email based on the outcome of the call. So for example, they have a lower budget, we're going to downsell them. If they are within our range, we're going to thank them, remind them, hey, we have booked a call. And last step over here, we also want to update our CRM because yeah, this is all one agent. We later on in your sales team want to have the information, okay, what has the agent discussed with the lead? That's why we want to also update the lead information in the CRM. We are going to build out the system in Relevance AI. It is a very basic system. We have one main agent, which is our inbound sales agent. We're going to trigger this one when someone has submitted a type form, and we give this agent access to multiple tools. So a tool to research the lead, a tool to call them, qualify them, book a meeting, give them a tool to write an email, and also the ability to update our CRM. So have them connected to our CRM, whichever one we use. So jumping into the backend, into Relevance AI, where we've built out this SDR inbound sales agent. You just see the overview of the task that has been performed. We've triggered this into the type form, passed the information over to the sales agent, and he has performed our 4 steps, researching the lead, calling them, writing an email, and updating the CRM. I'm going to show you that in a second. And provided some update. I have researched Elon Musk to discuss his requirements for AI sales agent, focus on reducing follow-up time with interested prospects. Call was successfully booked, indicated willingness to invest at least 2.5K. Also had no specific budget in mind at first. And all relevant details have been documented in the CRM for tracking and future reference. So let's take a look into the agent. I just gave it some basic description. Inbound sales agent takes leads, form submissions, research lead, qualify them, book a meeting if qualified, and update the CRM with corresponding information. So to set up the trigger, I found it easiest to just use make.com to take a type form submission and push it to the AI agent. It is quite simple, so just 2 modules required. The triggering module is whenever a type form is submitted, you just need to create a new webhook over here. And within your type form, just click on Connect, Webhooks, and then you can just set up a new webhook and shoot all your information to make.com. And when new webhooks are received over here, we just push them to Relevance AI. You just need a few basic information. You can even click on here within the agent, find the agent ID, role user, content. That's the only thing we're going to customize. So all of that is the body that we need down here. I just basically copied the whole body inside of here. And for the content, gave it mapped just the answer from the type form. So first name, that's the answer in the type form. Last name, email, phone, company website, time zone, project needs. And then I also need my agent ID, which can be found down here. For the header, also very simple. You just need a simple authorization. you find that within Relevance AI. Go down here to integrations, and then all the way to the bottom, you can set up a new automation, create a new secret key, label it, and then you can just copy the authorization token and then just paste it back here into this model. And whenever we receive a new submission, it is just pushed to your AI agent within Relevance. So for the core instructions, I gave it a role of being a world-class inbound sales agent for lead management, client engagement. You can read through the whole thing. It operates in a sales environment. Potential clients express their interest already, and it's trying to at first conduct some research, try to get more context, dive deeper into the client needs, qualify them, and also tries to book a meeting. Objectives: we want to do the research, we want to create a call where we qualify them and schedule, and then also we want to craft a personalized follow-up email, and lastly, the last objective is to update our CRM. I also like to double down on it with some instructions, so the agent knows it should go step by step through all of these. Begin by researching the link's personal and company LinkedIn, calling them, following up with them, and CRM. So basically he reached the objectives by following all of these steps. We give it some tools on sub-agents. We have one tool for just researching it within LinkedIn, one for the calling, one for the email, and one for the CRM. So it's all like very straightforward in this agent. Gave it some more rules, so very critical that it doesn't fabricate any information. Also, when it is not sure during the call if the lead is qualified or not, we rather want the lead to be qualified and be appearing in our CRM to be on a safer side. And overall, just doubling down on, hey, you should be professional and very curious, just a good listener, and trying to deeply understand the needs of the client. I'm also manifesting the steps the agent needs to take. So you trigger when someone has submitted a project request through a Work With Us button on our website. Then use the research lead module to find more details that we need in the further sales process, and then also gather the details from the personal and company LinkedIn profile. Afterwards, he's going to use the inbound lead call, qualify, and book meeting tool, self-speaking, calling, finding about the product needs, then writing an email, and then at last update the CRM. So you see all the instructions. There's basically no conflicts. We're doubling down on it multiple times. You have basically the main objectives per stage over here. We have the different steps and the tools to use for these steps. As for the rest of the settings, I didn't really use it because it is not too complex of an agent. So just clicking through it, I've added the tools over here and also set all of them to auto run. So it doesn't need any approval by a human. So the agent decides for themselves whenever they need to run it. And I mean, we made it pretty clear in our instructions when to use them. There's no sub-agents involved. Also, I left the advanced settings at the default and the same also empty. So let's jump into the 4 different tools. That's where the interesting part is happening. At first, we have our research LinkedIn tool. So on top, we have the inputs that the agent needs to fill in order to perform this tool. For this one, we basically just need the name of the lead and at which company they're working. Remember, we are getting that from the type form. At first, we're going to perform a Google search. So looking for their personal LinkedIn profile, we do so by same as typing in, as you would do like a human, you would type in the name of the lead, the company, and LinkedIn. So we have Elon Musk, Tesla, LinkedIn. And if you run this step, we receive pretty much all of the search results. So same as on Google, in the same order, basically. There's multiple search results, but you also know from performing Google searches, sometimes not the first search result is the one that you're looking for. Sometimes it can be the second or even more down the page. So in order to find the correct LinkedIn, like the personal LinkedIn profile, we're going to perform a large language module. So here we have our world-class LinkedIn URL extractor. You will provide it search results from queries formatted as personal name, company, LinkedIn. And your task is to identify the correct LinkedIn profile. So we provided with the name of the individual, the company. I gave it some instructions. So carefully review the provided search results, identify the correct profile, extract the URL. If it does find the correct URL, it should respond with only the URL. That's what we need in the next module. If it doesn't find a LinkedIn profile, not everyone has LinkedIn, we just let it respond with LinkedIn not found. Also gave it an example. So that's how this one is looking. So we have our result here, Google Personal, and paste it down here, scrape Google search results. That's this one down here. And it is looking like this. And we want it, like that's going to be our input, for example. And we just want it to output the LinkedIn URL. Gave it some more rules, like some tips on how to filter for the correct LinkedIn URL. For example, they all like personal profiles always are usually linkedin.com/in/ and then username. Doubling down that it really should output only either the URL or like the string LinkedIn not found and no additional output. In the next module, we then take this link over here. So we're just going to perform it, obviously, if the previous module is not equal to LinkedIn not found, because then we don't need to scrape a profile. There is none to scrape. We take the URL. So whatever output we receive over here, Elon Musk's LinkedIn profile, for example, we're going to scrape it. And that is basically just taking a look at all of the information on the LinkedIn profile. And we afterwards we're gonna do that same over here. So if we don't find the personal one, at least there should be a company one. And again, from all of those search results, extracting only the company LinkedIn profile. So for example, this one was a search on Aura. It should only output the Aura LinkedIn company profile. Then we do the same thing with the company LinkedIn profile. And now that we have both of these scraped LinkedIn profile, the personal and the company one, we're going to feed that into another large language model and giving it the instructions to be an expert lead profile creator. So letting it know that you will be provided with the LinkedIn profiles from both the personal and the company profiles. And its objective is to generate a concise lead summary that salespeople can use to engage with leads in a friendly and informed manner. So the purpose of this is we take this information over here in a summarized manner and pass it on to the tool where we're going to call the lead, so we can customize the script when calling the lead. Gave it some more instructions. So analyze the LinkedIn data, extract the key details, compile relevant context. Also, you know how sometimes LinkedIn text is written very bougie, outstanding, impressive, and that would create like a weird form if we're going to call the lead and be like super hyped about them. We want to be in a type of language how an actual human would call them. And we just need a 100-word summary. I'm passing over here the scraped personal LinkedIn profile and the company LinkedIn profile. And that is the output of the tool. So after we have researched our lead and came up with a little summary about them, we give that onto the next tool, which is the most like the centerpiece over here, our inbound lead call and qualify, plus if qualified, book a meeting. The inputs we need over here is their full name. We also want just their first name. That's going to be used in the phone call. A phone number. For the calling tool, it's mandatory that we use it in the country code. So also gave it an example over here. The email address, company URL, company name, lead time zone. So if you remember, all this information is coming from the type form. Then we also have our lead summary, which was generated by the previous tool. And lastly, the product leads. You see like the lead summary is AI generated. That's how we enrich the lead ourselves. And this is what the lead has provided in the form. So let's go through the steps of this whole tool. So to do a little bit of reverse engineering, the first main step we want to do is we want to check our own calendar for available slots that we're going to pass to the caller module. We do that by, there's no native integration for cal.com. I use cal.com for call scheduling, but there's also Calendly, or I'm going to show you in a second how you can do this right away within your Google Calendar. But I want to check for available slots within my cal.com. There's no native model over here in Relevance, so we need to create a custom API tool. Any tool has an API documentation. So in those API documentations, you always find the parameters you need to insert into an API call to receive a specific kind of information. That's what I mean with reverse engineering. I looked up, okay, I want to find available slots. What do I need to insert? Authorization, you take that in my example again. There's always a dedicated connect with API setting within your call booking tool of choice. And for cal.com, we need the following URL params. We need a starting time, which specifically is more a starting date. So in which date range do we want to check for available slots? And I've set this to, like, during the call, I want to have a good experience, not book for in half of a month. So I try to obviously be as close as possible to the current day. So I have beforehand created a very quick Python script just outputting tomorrow's date. So that's going to be our starting date. I'm going to output our date start, and I want to look within a date range of 14 days. So I have the same over here, but just add 14 days to it. And then we have our 2 days. So in my case, today is January 21st. We will have here Jan 22nd, and over here that's February 5th something. Then 2 more, we need the team ID and event type. So in cal.com, you can have multiple events, and we just need to find out the unique for the one that I'm trying to book in. And also the time zone. That's why I was asking for the time zone in the type form, because the lead is trying to book a call within their time zone, obviously. So if we ran this, let me quickly run the 2 previous ones. Here we have the next day, so January 22nd. We need it in this format. And here we have the day that is 14 days later. Now let's make our API call. And you see our API call returns all the available slots. So for January 22nd, we have the following slots in the time zone and so on. And we're going to later on pass that to the caller agent. Now, I've also played around with doing this right away into the Google Calendar. It's pretty similar, and there's already a pre-built tool over here. So calendar, you see check Google Calendar availability. And you just need to connect your Google account and have the same thing. Like, in what range do you want to look for available slots? Again, starting and end date. Have a 30-minute duration, for example, and put in the working hours, and then also check within the lead's time zone. But for this one, I continue building it with the cal.com. Another reverse engineering, this module over here, it is a native tool within Relevance AI to call a delete. And giving it some system prompt to your Adam, AI assistant for Fabio, and some context. So potential lead has just completed our form indicating interest. We researched them, and it's now your job to call them. So objectives for this caller module is to gather more in-depth details about a specific solution, qualify the lead, inquiring about the budget, and if qualified, schedule a meeting between them and Fabio. Then the instructions I gave it is begin a call, like very friendly. I also like to give a very clear call script in the beginning. So I said, hey, if this symbol in the beginning, just read out the lines, because in the beginning, the call is very predictable. Obviously, the prospect is going to pick up. We're going to say, hi, is this first name? Then they say, yes, it is. And then we have a line that always functions. So I'm Adam, assistant at Sprite, just reviewed your submissions, and you have time for a quick 3-minute chat. This does need to be individualized because it's always happening. We wait for the response, and then we have a personalized intro. So we want to show them, hey, we have invested some time researching you, and that's why I have another module before, which is a world-class expert in crafting compelling personalized introductions. So again, context, you want to write a personalized call introduction, and gave it some step-by-step, review the context provided, understand the script, craft the introduction, and I even gave it the full script context over here so it knows like for which line should it generate. And to be very strict, also gave it some examples. Always want to start, great, I saw you, and then have the intro. So what I feed into it is the lead summary, which was generated in the previous tools. That's why it was so important to have a lead summary. And then we have the product needs. That's just whatever the lead has filled out. We need that for the second part. Like, could you share more about the specific XYZ you want to implement? That's based on the product needs. So back to the script. We're going to perform our personalized intro, wait for their response. And I just want to dig a little bit deeper if there is some more they want to implement. So they either going to say, no, that's it, or provide some more info. And the more info we can gather, which is more convenient for the lead, like speaking over it via a phone call than writing everything down. So then I switch, I have the script that was just the start of the call, and the next stage is the qualification. I don't have a clear script for it. I just wanted to follow some structure. I first want to ask them about the budget they have in mind for the project, just to get like a first idea and not right away saying, hey, this is our minimum budget. Do you agree on it? Yes or no? No, I want to ask for them in a friendly way. Do you have some budget in mind? If they're uncertain, I mention a budget below 2.5K, inform them about our minimum project fee and ask if they're willing to invest. And I reminded it, hey, if they mention a budget above, I don't want them to call out, hey, our minimum budget is 2,500. Because if they're already saying, hey, this is something we want to build for 5K, I don't want the caller to say, okay, our minimum budget is 2.5, because they're already qualified. Then we have two options. Either they are qualified, so if qualified, again, budget over 2.5K, then try to schedule a meeting and therefore carefully check the available time slots, which we checked in the previous module. Only pick time slots that are also within Fabio's available call schedule. So it shouldn't just come up with slots. It should only use the ones that we checked before. Check the lead time zone. And when proposing a meeting, always pick the next available day, where Fabio still has open time slots and within his available call schedule. Just increases or decreases the no-show rate if we book a meeting that is closer to the current date than if we pick something like in 2 weeks or so. If they're not available, ask them what time works for them. And ultimate goal is to book a meeting with them, but only within Fabio's available time. If they agreed, great, booked your meeting with Fabio and we'll send you a confirmation after the call. And just like ending the call in a friendly way, ask them if there's anything else they want to share before the call. If they're unqualified, I mean, that's also, you shouldn't just say, okay, bye. There's also an option to work with me if it is not within your budget, which I will show you like later on in the email, providing with an alternative downsell offer. Let them know that Fabio will reach out to them by email to propose some alternative solutions. Then you can also have some objection handling. I would make this section a little bit bigger over time once you analyze the call scripts and see like, hey, we're getting asked about this all the time. It is always better to give the AI some input what it should answer then than it just like guessing what to answer. So for example, can I talk to Fabio? Yes, he will reach out to you like after the call. Some more rules, like I always insert the rules on the bottom because whatever you say first and last tends to be the most important for the prompt. So the agent always remembers, same as a human pretty much, what you said first and what you said last. Some rules always addressed by first name. Don't tell about minimum project if they have a project above. Never refer to them as a lead or prospect. That's just a weird thing. We want to have like a personalized approach all the time. And always be friendly, professional, and ensuring the lead feels valued and deeply understood. If you saw the demo, I found like that's something you can really sense by now. Some early on voice agents were like a little bit weird in the way, but I found like prompts like these make it really human sounding. And I also tell them to be a great listener, make them feel well understood. So lastly, I also give it the information that we researched about the lead, just so it can at any point also customize some answers to the lead. And I also obviously insert my available calendar time slots over here, which we received from this module up here. Now this module over here ends whenever the call ends, but of course we want to do something with the conversation that has happened in the call. For that we have a gather call details module over here. We just need to insert the call ID from up here, and that provides us with the transcript of the call. So that's the part down here. We take the transcript and we feed it again into another large language model. This time it is an expert in call transcript analysis. And the objectives over here are, like, first of all, it really should understand the entire call script, like go through the call again, review it, understand it deeply, elevate the success of the call, assess whether they are qualified, extract the budget, extract the meeting, and summarize again the product needs so we can pass that to our CRM. Let's go through the instructions. Again, doubling down, read carefully and understand the entire call. And then first thing we're going to determine is the call status. I want to determine the outcome of the call. If there was no real conversation happening, or the conversation has an error, which can definitely happen. I don't know, the call just never took place, or there was just some technical issues within the call. I want it to set the call status to unsuccessful. If the conversation took place, but it is like the lead is not willing to invest or is not qualified, we set the call status to unqualified. If the lead is willing to invest, but we haven't achieved a booked meeting yet, we just set it to qualified. And the last status, that's the one we are always aiming for, is the lead is qualified and we managed to book a meeting. We set the call status to meeting booked. And you see in the next tool, depending on what we receive over here, we follow up with the lead by email to never miss out on any leads. So in case there's really an error with the call, we can just write in the email, hey, here's my booking link, and they can book straight away. Then we also needed to extract the meeting slot. In the next API call, book the meeting in cal.com and write a call summary, which we then can pass into our CRM as well. So if you want an LLM to return multiple things, which we have in this case, like we want a call status, the meeting slot, call summary, but all in one answer to your like prompt request we have here, it is always best practice to use JSON. So we teach it to output the result in valid JSON format with the headers call status, meeting slot, and call summary. And in that case, it makes sense to really provided a lot of examples to fine-tune it and make it really understand. We're just looking for the JSON, nothing else. So I have some examples over here. Call status, meeting booked, meeting time slot. We need it in this format. We need it in this format because we need it for the cal.com module later on. And we have the call summary, which is a little bit more free flow text. And I gave it a second example. Again, super important that you just output JSON, limit to 50 words as said. And you can always, of course, customize this with some rules, instructions that you might need for your specific processes. And then I end up with passing it the call transcript. So last two steps. This one is a pretty simple one. Convert JSON-like text into JSON. This just makes sure we take the answer that the LLM gives and format it in a proper formatted JSON, which we can work with. And then the last step is to create the actual booking within cal.com. That's just another API call, which I looked up into their API documentation. We have the authorization again, pretty much all the same we had from the previous cal.com module, but we need to feed it some different data. We need the attendee name, time zone, and email. All of that we get already from the inputs on the top of the tool. We need the extracted meeting time slot. So that's why we need the JSON up here. It's call JSON output meeting slot. And then like for my personal cal.com, I require two more fields to be performed. And that's the company URL and the company, both of which were already also provided by the lead through the form. And that wraps up the full form over here. Quite a few steps, but it's also the centerpiece over here. And I've decided to put all of this into one tool because there's no real decision making that the agent itself has to make during. We just perform those steps step by step, and therefore those tools are just perfect. It just follows those steps and we get our outcome. So let's jump into the next tool, which is to write an email. This one is a very simple one. The inputs we need is just a first name, their email, and the call status, which was determined like in the previous module. Just to recall this, there's 4 different statuses: unsuccessful, unqualified, qualified, or meeting booked. And based on that, we want to send a custom email. I kept it very simple. You can have here another large language model pretty much taking the call summary, thanking for the call, summing it up for them, and being specific about the call. But to keep this tutorial a little bit shorter, I just placed in some static text. 4 different types of emails that we send out depending on this call status. So the first one is the unsuccessful one. That's also another standard module here within Relevance AI. It's I think it's called send Gmail email. You just need to connect your Gmail account. This one should only run when the call status is unsuccessful. We type in the prospect email. I have the subject like calling out their name, and then our company name, and then hi, first name. Thanks for reaching out. Would love to learn more. And straight away providing them with our call booking link, because this one indicates, okay, they weren't able to book within the call, or something has happened. The call maybe even didn't take place because of some technical issues. So I don't want to miss out on the lead. I give them the chance to book with me right away. If they're unqualified, I also don't miss the chance. I will downsell them on a little bit of a cheaper offer. Maybe they don't have the budget to let us implement their solution. So the next best offer for them is to learn how to build it themselves. So I also have a text. Thanks for taking time. Unfortunately, we have limited product slots, so we cannot work with everyone and every budget. Good news, you can join our community where we share templates like these and help you learn how to build your own solutions. Great way to get started and connecting with others to do the same. And school.com/development. You can check it out, by the way, as well. You can join over here to join our community. Then we have the qualified one. Remember, that's when we have successfully qualified them. So they're willing to invest, want to work with us, but they were not able to arrange a meeting within the call. Do the same thing, thanking them and providing the link themselves. Usually it's just like more convenient for them to book right over the call, but also don't want to miss out on these leads. And for sure, we have our last one, just thanking them again. Excited to learn more about the product. You should have already received a confirmation for your slot. Let me know if there's anything else you need in the meantime. So just making sure they really have received it. But once they have the status, it only triggers when really they have booked in something successfully in mycal.com. And the last tool we give the AI agent access to is the Update CRM tool. Of course, it is important to give us some feedback of what has been discussed, because so far all of the communication has been handled between the AI agent and the lead. And we need to get us back into the loop, especially if in this case we have a follow-up call with the lead, and I, in my case, need to prepare, okay, what has already been discussed. And that's where our CRM comes into place very handy. We're going to update the CRM with all of the information we have gathered about the lead so far, and also give it some notes about what has already been discussed. Now, this is very custom about which CRM you're using. So that's why I'm just going very high level through the logic of this, because it's going to be very similar to whichever CRM you're using. In our case, we're using Attio, and just guiding you through the logic. So the input we need is the full name of the lead, email address, company, website, and also the call summary, because we want to have that in our CRM as well. Now there's some arrows showing here. Already reached out to Relevance AI. It just seems to display this error for no reason. There is no actual error. We tested it like a bunch of times, and somehow it just shows us this today, but it's still working. So ignore those errors for now. From the principal, we have another custom API module. In this case, took a look into the Attio API documentation. Headers, we have our same concept as well, our authorization token, content type, accept type, and then we pass the first thing we're gonna create in Attio. I'm gonna create a company. So this company I'm gonna create with its name, its website, and I have a custom status for a new lead, which is basically saying new lead, and we're gonna trigger that one as well. Then I picked the company record ID because I need that and the person as well to link the person and the company. Those are two different record types or entities within Attio. Basically creating the person over here with their name, giving them the email, and I need the record ID for the company to link that. And I also add them to our deal stage. So I just named the deal by the company name. The stage over here is called meeting booked. Associated people, that's the person I added above. Associated company, that's the company we created above. And I also add a note. So all of the call summary should be added as a note to this deal. So when I prepare for my meeting with the potential prospect, I just take a look into the call summary and check out what has been discussed. So I am well prepared and informed. So if you liked this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel and join our community of builders. Also, make sure to drop a comment below which AI-powered solution you would like to build us next together. I can't wait to see your ideas and see you in the next video.